I had just moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood a few months ago, drawn in by the charm of tree-lined streets, neat yards, and a community that promised peace and order. The Homeowners Association, or HOA, had been one of the selling points. They kept the place pristine, enforced rules, and supposedly made sure neighbors got along. I didn't expect, however, that the HOA itself could be a source of constant stress. It started subtly. Karen, the head of the HOA, was a forceful woman in her mid-50s with a penchant for micromanaging everyone's life. She wore designer glasses that made her look like she belonged in a courtroom, and she had a stare that could make grown men apologize for things they hadn't done. At first, I tried to be polite, waving hello when she came by, nodding to her notices about grass height and mailbox colors. I didn't want to start on the wrong foot, but politeness only seemed to fuel her sense of entitlement. The tipping point came one sunny Saturday morning. I had just returned from picking up my brand new car, a sleek black sedan I'd been saving for years. The car gleamed in the morning light as I parked it in my driveway. I had spent hours detailing it, feeling a surge of pride. I even texted my friends a photo, proudly showing off the new purchase. I was enjoying a quiet cup of coffee on my porch when I heard a loud screech from the street. I jumped up and saw, in absolute horror, Karen striding toward my car with a baseball bat in hand. Before I could even ask what she was doing, she swung at the hood of my car, leaving deep scratches across the paint. My heart raced as I shouted at her, but she didn't flinch. She muttered something about illegal parking and rules. Even though my car was perfectly in my driveway, neighbors came out, some shaking their heads, others frozen in disbelief. Karen, in full self-righteous fury, didn't seem to care that she was destroying someone else's property. By the time I approached her, she had already smashed the windshield and dented the doors. I could feel my blood boiling. All my savings, all my excitement. It was gone in moments. I wanted to call the police, but something inside me snapped. Instead of waiting for hours for them to show up, I decided on immediate creative justice. I ran to my garage, grabbed my car keys, and drove to her house. Her SUV was parked in a no-parking zone right in front of the fire hydrant. I had noticed it many times before and had warned her politely once or twice, but it never changed. I took a deep breath and called a local towing company I knew. I explained the situation, emphasizing that her vehicle was in violation and that I needed immediate removal. The operator hesitated at first, but I stressed urgency. Within 30 minutes, the tow truck arrived. While the driver hooked up her SUV, I stood there, arms crossed, watching Karen emerge from her house, still in her robe, her hair wild, and her face the color of a ripe tomato. "What are you doing?" she shrieked. "That's my car. You can't do this." "I could call the police or I could tow it legally since it's blocking a fire hydrant," I replied calmly, trying to keep my own temper in check. I figured I'd save us both the paperwork. Her yelling attracted neighbors, who crowded around, whispering and pointing. Some shook their heads, while others secretly smirked. I noticed a couple of them snapping photos on their phones. The tow truck driver loaded her SUV, and just like that, it was gone. Karen ran after it, screaming at the top of her lungs, but there was nothing she could do. I felt a rush of vindication, tempered by disbelief at how surreal the moment had become. Later, when the HOA called me to complain, I calmly recounted the facts. Her assault on my car, the illegal parking, and my legal right to have the SUV towed. I even sent photos of the damage to my car and the pile of scratches on her vehicle. The HOA board, to my surprise, backed me up. Karen, of course, was furious, but there was little she could do without incriminating herself. By evening, the neighborhood was buzzing with the story. Some called me a hero, others whispered that I had escalated things, but most understood the principle. Don't mess with someone's property. The incident became a sort of local legend, with my smashed car and her towed SUV as central figures. I had to file a police report and go through insurance, but the sense of justice, immediate and visible, was worth it. From that day forward, Karen avoided me. I kept my windows rolled up and my garage door shut when she passed. But the tension lifted. My car eventually got repaired, and I even found a sense of confidence I hadn't realized I had. I learned that sometimes you don't have to wait for justice to arrive. You can act decisively, responsibly, and within the law to protect yourself. And sometimes it helps to have a tow truck on speed dial.